Look, last night was a dud of a night for basketball. That was just a mercy killing, truly.
Ooh, off the rip, too.
Hey, I will say this. What was so funny about last night's game is I actually just left it on just because I was, you end up starting just looking at your phone and whatever. But I left it on. There is nothing funnier to me than Nikola Jokic with his, arms folded half the time, standing in the corner of the court for the entire fourth quarter and never sitting down. It was like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to kill you and your whole family.
They say he did the whole, what's that movie he was in? The character.
Oh, Minions.
Minions. He said he got that from the Minions because that's what the Minions did.
Dude.
They stood over the crowd, just looked at him.
Dude, that crowd, you have told us this. You love that arena.
Love it.
That was by far the best crowd of the play. That even defeated MSG. That thing was deafening through your TV.
Yes. Electric, bro.
Crazy. And they pasted them. Nuggets, you could tell. If you watch the first 3 plays of the game, and I know they started out 9-2, but even the first bucket from Minnesota is like a wide open Gobert dunk. And they were just driving down the lane dunking, and none of these guys are even in a defensive stand. It was just bizarre. I told you guys this a couple days ago when it came to the Luka analysis. Some of these guys just have to have their backs against the wall for you to get. It's annoying,
right?
But it's they'll start being that guy when they have to be that guy, and if they don't have to be that guy, you might just get that.
The problem becomes with that approach.
No, you screw around,
and now you're in a game 7 against Anthony Edwards. So
that's right.
He showed up to a game in a tank top and shorts. And he about that time.
But they had to, they got down 0-2. They had to win 3 because you can't go down 0-3. You had to win 4 because you don't want to go down 3-1, right? 5 is now the pivotal game 5, and it's on your home floor. And if you want to be able to ensure a game 7, you got to win that. They were really in 3 must-wins in a row.
Yeah.
And you got these hero efforts. And then as soon as they weren't in a must-win, they played like dogs.
I thought that was the same thing. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't game 2. I thought Denver, they really it's not like they weren't trying to win the game, and they just got flustered and they got rattled. And last night was not that. They just didn't. They didn't show up.
Wasn't it crazy?
Didn't play.
We saw it with the Knicks, and we saw it with Dallas.
Yes.
Right. The Knicks were in 5. They're like, we can't go. We have to fight for our lives in Indiana. We got to win this game.
Yes.
And they came with this grand slam effort. Dallas, we don't want to have to try to stay alive at home. We want to be able to close it out at home. So grand slam effort. And it's I don't know, man. It's you do feel like a lot of this round is you got to get pushed all the way to the brink before you respond.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They'll probably be fine.
They'll probably be
I'm
fine.
scared, though.
But it makes you.
I wouldn't want to be in this on Sunday.
No.
That 22-year-old's a killer.
He is.
He is, bro.
I think it's more likely that he struggles than goes crazy. Though.
But if he goes crazy, that's legendary stuff.
And I think
legendary.
He told the person in the locker room, the attendant,
Yeah.
I'm a CEO asked for a game 7.
That's right.
That's right.
I also bet it's more likely
spun
that
the
Jamal.
block.
It just did not feel like that game mattered to the Nuggets in the same way. We've watched them.
Yeah.
They were cranking. They were shooting a
them.
lot of wide open trays.
I got it, but I've watched them play, and you can tell the way they set screens, the way they switch on defense, the way this attention to detail that is just extreme. None of that exists. These guys weren't even in defensive stances. They're standing around. It's crazy.
No.
I don't understand.
It's more likely Jamal Murray goes insane in Game 7 than
It's this feeling of we got this.
Yeah.
Okay, if we have to play them a game 7 on our home floor, we do.
We
but
know what we can do if we
playing
play
with fire.
You're playing with fire. First off, this team, they've already beat you twice in that building.
That's right.
And they got a killer.
That's right.
And if you told me to pick right now, I'm taking Denver.
Yep.
But there ain't nothing crazy to me about
If they
Minnesota
beat a
going in.
3-time MVP on his home floor in a game 7, that is truly legendary.
Legendary stuff. If this were to happen, I'm not predicting. Anthony Edwards goes for 40 against the reigning MVP, a 3-time MVP, reigning champs.
Legendary
stuff.
Legendary. But I will say,
here's the thing.
That's where you start saying stuff like Michael Jordan never did that.
It's just such an advantage.
I'm rooting against
And this is the way I felt with the Oklahoma City thing. It's such an advantage to have been in that situation.
It is.
Over and over
You get
again.
down to the final 5
They've
minutes.
been in game 7s. They've been in a ton of them.
yeah.
They got their heart ripped out in a game 7 in Denver by C.J. McCollum. It's a legendary performance. That happened. And this is before Jokic was the guy.
Yeah.
But like, bro, their track record goes back a long way. They've been in this spot. And the first time in the spot is a different deal. It just is. That's how I felt like, everybody loves Jalen Woods. We saw it with our team. You just have to go through it because these teams are seeing you now over and over again. They're defending you. You're seeing things that you haven't had to deal with before. And it's all a learning process. You gotta go through it. And, man, you're right. If he responds in a Game 7 and there's like he doesn't have to, that's why I say history tells us it's probably more likely he struggles than kills it just because he's going to be in a Game 7. A do-or-die game is different. It just is.
Right.
And those guys will have a complete calmness about them because they've been in the spot.
Yeah, speaking of history, you said, I think I saw a graphic last night. Anthony Edwards has the highest average points per game average to a player through his first 10 playoff games.
He's amazing.
So it's
amazing.
Like he's like rewriting history himself. So
it's just a different deal, though.
If you go crazy,
do or die is a different deal. It just is. Just is. Everything feels you've been in game when we've had Game 7s. Every friggin' bucket feels life or death.
Yes.
In a Game 7, they're usually low scoring, and everything just feels immense.
Yes.
It's not easy to get off for huge numbers in a Game 7. That's why it's legendary for. I guess that was actually a Game 6 where Giannis had the 50 against Phoenix to close them out, whatever. But it was a closeout game.
I think if I'm Minnesota, because I want us to be on the same. We run this race with them, Minnesota, Oklahoma City.
Oh, so you want?
I want the race to stop here, even though I love my homies in Minnesota.
You don't want anybody new.
No. We don't need no new stuff.
And in fairness, Dallas has been to the West Finals before, and Denver's been.
So yeah, I want the two pudgy dudes to be in the West Conference Finals. But I think I'll be more surprised if like Ant shows up, he does his thing. If like Cat shows up short, or like Gobert shows up, like that's right. I'll be fine with that. If Ant gets 30 and Gobert and them has like 5, I'm like, okay, good.
That's exactly what happened in Game 5.
I'm like, let's go. Let's do this.
In Game 5, that's what I want. Everybody else sucked but him.
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, live weekdays at noon